What you are looking at is arguably the worst balanced Dokkan Fest LR for the anniversary on release. And what I mean by that is this guy compared to the UI Goku. On release it was not even close, and on top of that the Vegeta aged fairly badly whereas the Goku aged pretty well. But even if you don't compare it to the Goku, this Vegeta didn't age well even as a standalone Dokkan Fest. Like, it just wasn't good enough. And the reason he wasn't good enough is what we're gonna discuss in this video. But first, it is time for the subscriber challenge. Now I want you guys to either pick heads or tails. If you win, then you win, but if you lose, then you lose. And if you lose, you have to subscribe because that is the challenge. So pick right now, 3, 2, 1, go. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be tails. So if you picked heads, then you lose, and if you lose, you have to subscribe because that is the challenge. The main thing that ruined this guy, in my opinion, is similar to what ruined this guy, and I already made a video on this guy, and funnily enough, it's the same issue with this guy. Both of them, they build up damage reduction and they only keep that built up damage reduction for that one turn, and on the next turn they have to build it up again, and that is just an awful ability, and it truly is what ruined these units. And funnily enough, both of these units came out in the same celebration, in the same anniversary. The Vegeta was a part 1 Dokkan Fest, and the 17 and Frieza was a part 2 LR, and both of them really have that same issue. Now at the very least with the Vegeta, he was actually good on release, nowhere near the UI Goku, but he was a good unit on release. He aged badly to be fair, but he was good on release. It's just that he was nowhere near as good as this guy, which is why I'm saying that he was awfully balanced as a unit in comparison to this guy, because there was a huge difference. If we compare these guys to every other Dokkan Fest LR from an anniversary, the difference in power was hardly ever this big. For example, if we look at the LR gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s, as much as I joke about the LR Super Saiyan 4s, the LR gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s on release were really good, and I also do stand by the fact that the LR gods are better just because they aged better in terms of getting better partners, but on release they were very equal. And to this day, when the LR Super Saiyan 4s get a partner, which they probably will in this new anniversary, then they will be equal. The LR gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s will be equal once again, and on release they were very equal, unlike the Blue Evolution Vegeta with the UI Goku, who were not equal on release and to this day. And then the anniversary before the UI Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta, we got the Vegeta Blue and the Gogeta Blue, and both of them were really close. People were arguing either way in terms of what unit is better, and what that proves is the units were pretty close. Although I think the Vegeta was better, I think it's clear the Vegeta was better, but the point is they were really close, unlike with the Blue Evolution Vegeta. And then there's the Super Saiyan 4s. Me and a lot of others do agree that the Super Saiyan 4 Goku was better, but most people are in agreement that it was at least somewhat close. Same thing with Vegeta and Gogeta for the 3rd year anniversary, it was really close. Same thing with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the Vegeta, it was really close. At the time, people were saying Goku was better, including myself, and back then I would stand by that. But the point is, both units were close, they were both comparable. Okay, fair enough, for the 1st year anniversary, it wasn't even close. So Gogeta was far better than his counterpart at Dokkan Fest, which was the Janemba. And to be honest, I don't really include this, I don't really count this, just because it was a different time back then. Dokkan did things very differently, and back then, defense meant nothing, whereas Janemba was a defensive unit. All that mattered back then was offense, and Gogeta was the best offensive unit in the game, and he had the best leader skill in the game, making him the best unit in the game at the time by far. Taking all of that into consideration, not including the Janemba because those were completely different times, Vegeta was the worst balanced Dokkan Fest LR on release. And I'm not saying he was bad, I'm just saying the difference between him and his counterpart, which is the UI Goku, was tremendously big. No other anniversary had a gap that was this big in my opinion. And the reason it was so big is, as I've already mentioned, the damage reduction mechanic is just really bad. In my opinion, this ability is one of my most hated abilities in Dokkan. It's right up there with Chance to Guard. It is just an awful ability. Chance to guard and building up damage reduction and only keeping that within one turn. What it should be is that you build it up and then you keep it for good for every turn. But no, for whatever reason he had to lose it. And even if they did that, then they would be somewhat equal. I would prefer the Vegeta, but objectively you could probably still argue that the Goku is better because of that 70% chance to dodge, but you could have at least tried to balance it by giving him that damage reduction permanently. But of course they did not do that, and that is what made this guy age fairly badly. I think people did underrate this guy on release, but as time went on, people realized that he's not that bad. It's just that he's nowhere near the Goku. And the reason for that, as I've mentioned multiple times throughout the video, is just this awful, this disgustingly bad mechanic that they need to delete from this game. Hopefully, not this anniversary, but the next anniversary, when this guy will possibly easy A. It's almost definite that this guy will easy A, and he will easy A sooner or later. I believe he'll easy A in the 9th anniversary, but we'll see. But when he does easy A, I'm hoping they make the damage reduction permanent and not like he only keeps it within the one turn. Because if they keep it as it is, that is just awful. That is disgustingly bad. So, fingers crossed, they do change that and make it a lot better, but we'll see what happens. Because these two with easy A's could be a very, very interesting unit. Like, it could be really interesting, but we will see what they do. They've got some potential, to be fair. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, then do subscribe, especially if you failed the challenge, because that is the challenge. Also, do leave a like and comment, because those things do help out with the algorithm so that we can grow even faster. With that said, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.